If you've ever tried to finance an Airbnb, you may have run into some trouble documenting income. Your mortgage lender is likely to use outdated income resources as rent to qualify. Our DSCR 2.0 is like steroids for your home loan approval, using profit maps to qualify with short-term rental income. DSCR is a mortgage term that stands for Debt Service Coverage Ratio, which allows you to qualify using the property's cash flow instead of personal income. There's no other income required, as long as the rents cover the payment. Until now, lenders were using bad data from AirBNB called Rentalizer. Unlike the old DSCR program, the DSCR 2.0 has the potential to approve larger loan amounts using John Bianchi's system called Profit Evaluation. John Bianchi is the founder of Point Analytics and has become known as the AirBNB Data Guy for good reason. I was lucky enough to work with John on my own Airbnb project, and I was able to catch him for this quick interview.
Hi, John. Thank you so much for taking a few minutes to talk to us about your property evaluation service and how this helps investors buy short-term rentals. If you don't mind, can you help our viewers understand better your background?
Background, definitely. So I'm currently the head of data for TechFester, which is a short-term rental investment fund. We've bought over 100 properties in the last 15 months. It's my job to analyze every single market that we're going to potentially enter into, what's the absolute best thing for us to purchase within that market, and how to maximize the revenue of that property that we're purchasing. Additionally, I also have an AirBNB data consulting company where I help people understand how to do exactly that to make sure that they're buying profitable properties. And then on top of that, I also had my own Airbnb business that I built up and sold, right when COVID came around. And there was a prime time to sell. I wish I didn't, but I did, and it is what it is. So moving forward. But yeah, that's
great.
Yeah.
Impressive. That's awesome. So what is a property evaluation from Point Analytics exactly?
So imagine you're about to buy a property, right? You're going to spend about $100,000 to put it on a down payment on that property, but you're going to be running it as a short-term rental, but you're not 100% certain that it's going to cash flow for you, or
Sure.
you're not 100% certain everything that you need to do to get it to the point to cash flow for you, right?
Been there for
yeah.
sure.
Very much so, right? And so you're about to spend all this money and invest all this money, and you feel like you've done all of this research, but you're just not 100% certain. And that's where my company steps in, and we do a property valuation for you. And essentially what we're trying to do, or what we're doing, is we're taking all of the data that exists for that given area, and we're predicting how much we believe that that property could potentially make on a gross annual revenue basis. And then on top of that, we're also determining what you could do, amenities wise, to be able to hit that number. Every little revenue driver that you could possibly think of, we're trying to add in there as a bonus to the property valuation to make sure that your property does hit that number. Now, what this does for you is that it's going to either allow you to know if you should continue to move forward with the deal or walk away from the deal, right? And to be honest, I've done this many times, and more often than not, people actually walk away from a deal rather than going for it. And so when I do come across somebody who goes for it, like, kudos to them, they did great work on the front end. But typically, if they end up walking away, then there's other things I can do with them to help them find that next property to make sure it's good to go. And then another thing on top of that is that it also helps you get a loan, right? Which is what we're going to talk about here as well.
Yeah, and real quick before we go there, can I just say that you did this for me on my own project recently, and which has prompted this interview, and I've done this over and over again for myself. I've helped other people do it, but nowhere even came close to the data that you were able to provide me. And literally, I was blown away. Like, I can't tell you how nervous I was going into this new project I'm doing, and how confident I came out at the end. And it was just, it was rad. And I'm so glad that you're doing this, because frankly, I couldn't sleep at night before when I was doing stuff like this. And now I'm just like, okay, I've got John on my team. So it was really cool.
That honestly, that's exactly why I'm doing this, right? I know, because I've done it so many times for TechFester, I've done it for myself. My predictions levels are I'm 14% conservative on my predictions, which means that if I predict a property is going to make 100,000, it actually makes 114,000 within the TechFester fund, which means I'm very close with my predictions. And I know that I'm doing, and I've done it so many times that I know I'm doing it right. And then there's so many people out there who don't know how to do it, who are making bad decisions, who are buying bad properties. And so I'm literally building out an entire division of my company to be able to provide this to people to ensure that they're making these right decisions. And that's exactly what we got to do with you. And I mean, I honestly, it just makes me so happy hearing you say how that went for you and how you can sleep at night. And my favorite part about your entire project is that you actually went and got the better piece of land to build on that had the better view, because it was so obviously a greater guarantee of the potential returns that you're going to be getting, right?
Right. And I don't think I would have done that. I think I would have been, let's just keep it cheap and simple and you know, but you have to step it up to be in that top percentage of rentals, and that really was where it needed to be. So
exactly. And the thing about it too is that you know, you were thinking of like, let's keep it cheap and simple, but by keeping it cheap and simple, you're actually shooting yourself in the foot, right? And you were going to be you're actually weren't going to be able to make the amount of money that you should have been able to make more easily, right? But then by making that little adjustment, additional investment, your odds of success kind of go through the roof, which is why I was so excited that you did it, right?
well, and it's really you either need to be in that top group of properties or don't do it, is really what the lesson was for me.
Because of the price point of those homes, right? Because
where at least with this project, you know,
yes.
other properties may not be that case, but in my situation it was.
Exactly.
So on that note, the main thing that really attracted to me about this is that we can really use this to help people qualify for a mortgage. How are you seeing that work for people that you're helping? Are you seeing people, like, what do you know about qualifying for a mortgage with this information?
Yeah. So let's talk about the way that people are currently getting qualified, right? And like the lenders, what they're currently doing, they're using AirDNA's rentalizer tool, which I have a huge beef with. I loved AirDNA, but I have a huge beef with the rentalizer tool. And these lenders are literally plugging in the address to the rentalizer tool, and the rentalizer tool is popping out what this property could potentially make, right? Now, I've already told you I'm within a 14% accuracy when I'm making my predictions. I've then taken my predictions and I've plugged every single one of those addresses into the rentalizer tool to figure out how close I was to rentalizer. And there was about 30% where they were way overestimating, almost to 100% in some cases, right? So if I said it was going to make 100,000, they said it was going to make 200,000. And then there was another 30% where they were completely undershooting it. So I say it's going to make 100,000, they said it's going to make 50,000. And then there's a whole chunk in the middle there where we were generally close to each other. Now, the reason why this is so useless is because I know that I'm accurate within 14%, but then when you plug it into Rentalizer, you don't know if it's showing you the accurate number, the above number, or the below number. And I have all this data to prove it if anyone wants to see it. So anyways, that's the first piece of beef that I have when it comes to this, because the lenders are using this Rentalizer tool, right? But what I'm doing,
right,
I'm creating a report with backed up data, clean data. We can get into that. And it's very logical the way that I explain it. It's broken down in a complete system that helps the lender understand exactly how we got to that number, exactly what the buyer is going to be doing to be able to earn that amount of money. It's all very logical. It makes sense. It's written out beautifully, and it's also explained through a Loom video. And so the lender has everything that they need to be able to go, yeah, this is actually how much that property is going to make. Therefore, I'm willing to make they're willing to hand out the loan on that, right? And that's something that you've experienced firsthand yourself, right?
Yeah, and it's huge. The programs that allow for this type of income have evolved over the last couple of years to the point that, you know, they're really starting to take a better look at what the short-term rental market's going to be, and this is really just insane information that they don't have right now, and being able to take and say, okay, here's how we quantify it, because in the old set of guidelines, all they used was what the appraiser would tell you the long-term rents are. And then as AirDNA evolved and this rentalizer tool came about, we had lenders evolve to using that. But like you said, it's just not very good data. Exactly. And seems like that, you know, you've pretty much spelled it out. I was going to ask you how this differs from the AirDNA rentalizer data, but I think that explains it.
Yeah, and the way I see this is, and because I'm so like, I live and breathe AirBNB data all day, every day, it's all I do, right? And I'm figuring out all these things. I see it very clearly that this is going to become the standard. The issue why it's not a standard is because people don't understand the processes that I'm using to be able to get these answers. But the more and more that my company comes and does this for clients and starts presenting it to lenders, it's going to become the standard, because the lenders are going to understand that this is far superior than the other option, right? And so it's, to me, I can see where it's going, but it's just not there yet. but regardless of the fact, the lenders will still use this to help get that loan and close the deal for the property if they want to close it.
That's really great information, John. Let me ask you this. What should an investor that wants to start out getting into Airbnbs and short-term rentals, what should they do first before they start working with you?
Okay, so before they actually start working with me, there's quite a bit of legwork that I want them to do on their own to get to the point of understanding the data, to be able to find the good property on their own. That's a huge piece of this, right? And the reason I'm saying that I want them to do it is because I give away all this information for free. It's on my YouTube channel. I have multiple different courses where I literally teach people how to understand the data within AirDNA, within my own product, which is the profit map, and to be able to sort through it, which leads you to getting a profitable property, right? So you can take any location. Let's take Memphis. You can break it all down and know what's the absolute best thing to buy within Memphis, right? And so I want you to do that legwork first. And the reason I want you to do it is because when you do that, you're going to then be able to identify what property is going to be profitable. And then before you close on that property, I want you to send me that property, send me the information on it. I'll do my property evaluation on it. You'll get the analysis, you'll get the Loom video. And that's what's gonna you can then use to bring to your mortgage agent, who's then gonna help use that to close the deal, right? And it's also gonna give you the confidence to be able to sleep at night, like it did for you, Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can't stress enough, getting that pre-approval first not only opens the doors, but gives you some insight about what you can and should be doing. So it's good.
Yeah, especially if you're building, right? That's a whole other scenario, but we can talk about that another day.
Yeah. So is there anything else that you'd like to share with our viewers about your service?
Yes, actually. So I just released a new website with all of my trainings, all of my courses, organized, sorted, and put together in a way that allows for people to very easily go through all of my content and be able to use it to make decisions for themselves. And so that link is going to be right below this video. You can go down, scroll down. You can sign up for free. Once again, there's over 4 free courses that you can go through. I strongly recommend going through the Profit Map Masterclass. That is my best material by far. And if you go through that, it's going to teach you a process that you can use. It's literally a step-by-step process that you're going to use that's going to lead you to that profitable property. And then once you've done that and you've done all that homework, go to the store, order a profit map or a property valuation, and let's get started on that property valuation for your property.
Wow, that's huge. So you're telling me that you have all these courses for free?
100% for free. All 100% for free. Yeah.
Wow. You know, like it's crazy how you get just far enough with this kind of data and somebody's trying to sell you something at the end and sign up for my course and get my $25,000 coaching lessons. And it just blows me away that you're doing all this for free. And, you know, obviously these property valuations aren't free, but they definitely have a huge value for what they are, and totally worth every penny. So I'm real excited to work with you more. Been really great having you here today, and I can't explain, you know, how much you've helped me out with my own business, and I'm just really love what you're doing.
I'm so happy that we got to help you out, man. Genuinely, like, so happy, and just happy that it evolved into this conversation, which will evolve to other people who also see it and want that kind of same service and help. And like, it's just, this is why I keep pushing forward, because of people like you in your situation where I know that I can help. Therefore, I have to do something to make sure that I can help with that, right? And I can't wait to see your property when it's actually live. I'm gonna fly down. I'm gonna stay at it for a night.
Awesome. It'll be a while, because you know, it's still just a lot, but
when the time comes,
working through all that, and hopefully 2025 you'll be on the first guest list there.
I can't wait, man. It's gonna be a beautiful property with beautiful views. So really looking forward to it.
Me too. Thanks so much for all your help, man. I'm going to let you go, and I really appreciate all your time, and looking forward to watching more of your information on your channel and taking more of your classes. It's been great.
Awesome, man. Have a good one.
You too.
Whether you're just starting out as a short-term rental investor or a seasoned veteran, one thing is for sure, I've been helping both long and short-term investors over 30 years. Be sure to check out my other videos in this series, 5 Secrets to Financing Airbnbs That Nobody's Talking About. Check out iCanSaveMoney.com to find your best mortgage options, or just give me a call at 800-340-5465 to take the next step. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more helpful mortgage information. Feel free to send me a message with your mortgage questions, and more than that, make this moment a great one.